Okay, so I just came in from working in hay with Ben. We've been working all week trying to get our hay put up, and Ben's actually outside baling the rest of the hay right now. And whenever he needs me, I'll go back out there. But I have a little bit of time before he needs me, so I figured I would go ahead and film a Q&A video and answer some of the questions that I get. Earlier this week, I put a story on Instagram asking for you guys to send me questions in a little question box. So all these questions are coming from Instagram, but Ben's not going to be in this vlog just because he's out baling, and then whenever he needs me, he's going to text me. So hopefully I can get this done before he needs me. The first question is do y'all have AC? And we do have AC, but we don't at the same time. So the house is a little bit over 4,000 square foot. So we live in the upstairs part of the house, and we live in one bedroom. So the bedroom is right here, and then there's the laundry room and then a bathroom, and they're all in a straight line. So what we do is we have a window unit in the bedroom, and then we just leave the bedroom door open and then the bathroom door open so that all the air just flows through. And it works really good for us. It stays super cool in there, but it just works for us because there's no way that we can afford to cool the house right now, because we can't afford to run all window units right now. We're trying to save for a lot of things, and one of those things that we're saving for is ductwork and an air conditioning unit, because we'll have to run 2 separate units, and we'll actually have to put ductwork in our attic to blow down to the upstairs. Right now we have ductwork ran to the downstairs but not upstairs, so we're trying to save for that. But down here in the dining room and in all the rest of the house, there's no air conditioning. It's just whatever it is outside. We just open the windows, and I know it looks like I'm probably hot, but that's just because I was outside, and it is hot outside today. This question kind of goes along with it, and it's where do you live while you're renovating? And like I said, we just live in that bedroom upstairs, and then the laundry room and the bathroom, we just use those 3 rooms, and then the dining room downstairs we just use as our makeshift kitchen for now. The next question is how did you work on the house before you owned it? And this is kind of confusing, but at the time we just picked a realtor, the one that this farm was listed with. So we called him, and he actually was the neighbor to this place, and he's our neighbor now. And then, so the way that it worked was this farm was for sale. The person that owned it owned like 400 acres, and they were only selling off a small section of land, which was the 34 acres that we bought. So whenever we first signed the contract, we asked our realtor if they would ask the owner, because we weren't in communication with the owner yet. We asked our realtor if they could ask the owner if it would be okay if we started cleaning up trash and stuff like that. And they actually said yes. They told us that we could start cleaning up all the trash and stuff. We just weren't allowed to come in and start knocking down walls or anything like that. We were only allowed to do things that improved the value of the house in case our sale fell through. So we worked on like tearing down old plaster that wasn't any good, that needed to be tore down anyways, and just some small things like that. And then just cleaning out all the trash, which that took us months to do. So it worked out really good, and it kind of gave us the head start that we needed, but it was just a sacrifice that we had to make. And we were pretty confident in that we were going to be able to get the farm and everything, and that nothing was going to happen with the contract and it wasn't going to fall through. So it was just a risk that we had to take, but it was an agreement between us and the seller that we were willing to take that chance. So we just went through our realtor to get that approval, and they approved it. So I guess if you're in a situation like ours, you could always just reach out to your realtor and have them ask the owner if it would be okay. The next question is what model was the Wagner paint sprayer? And they're talking about the one that I used in the laundry room, and that is the Wagner Control Pro 130. And that was actually my first time ever using a paint sprayer, and it was so easy to learn. And this video is not sponsored by them, and they never paid me or asked me to say anything about their products. They just gifted me the products for me to try, and I don't have to talk about them or anything like that. But they sent me a steamer and their paint sprayer, and I love both of them. They're so easy to use, and I've never had any problems or issues with them. Okay, will you be living in the house this winter? What will be your heat supply? And yes, we will be. We lived in the house last winter. I'm not really sure why, but a lot of people think that we don't live here. I get questions all the time asking like where we live at and how we afford to rent someplace while we're fixing up this house, but we don't. We live here in the house. We moved in last November 12th. So we've been here for coming up on a year, and we're just gonna do the same thing. Last winter we insulated the attic, but we're still saving, trying to get money to insulate the entire house, because the next time we do it, we're gonna insulate the entire house. But that more than likely won't be done before this winter comes. But we're prepared for it, and we're starting to get our wood cut and everything like that, because our heat source is actually an outside wood furnace. And some people call it a wood stove, but it's an outside wood furnace. And like I said, there's ductwork already ran under the main part of the house downstairs, and there's already vents and everything, so the heat comes up fine, and it heats the upstairs because hot air rises, so it heats the upstairs just fine, and that's where we stay at. And last year we didn't really have any issues. A couple times we did, and I shared that in videos on here. so you can go back and watch our winter videos if you'd like. But we're more prepared this time, and we're hoping that things will go a lot smoother, and we know how to fix the issues that we had last year. So hopefully it'll be a better winter for us. The next question is have you thought about a loan from the bank to get the kitchen renovation done faster? And the short answer is no. That's never been an option for us. We don't want to finance. We don't want to take out a loan to try and fix the house or anything. We're really big on trying to have cash for everything that we do for this house. That's why you always hear us say that we're saving. And that's because everything takes such a large amount of money. And like the water lines, that took over $1,000, and we were not expecting that. And that had to come out of our kitchen budget. And we just weren't expecting that. So it did slow down our kitchen renovation. But slowly we're trying to build our savings back up so that we can start working on the kitchen renovation again. But we've never wanted to finance. It's just not what we want to do, and it's not our plan. We've never planned on that. So the next question is how long do you think it will take to finish your kitchen? And we really have no idea. We kind of quit putting dates on things just because we don't meet those deadlines, then we're just disappointed. And so we try and set realistic goals. We've kind of learned that you have to set realistic goals and plan for things to go wrong, because we never imagined that it would take so long to cut our hay, but it's just me and Ben. So it takes us a long time to cut all the 28 acres that we cut. We still do have our goal of having the bathroom and the kitchen done by January 1st. We're not really sure. If we can just get the kitchen done by January 1st, I'd be happy, and so would Ben. We just, I don't know, we work on it as we have time, and we really don't try and force ourselves. And we just try and take it one day at a time and get done what we can in that day, because we know that this is going to be a long-term thing. It's not going to be quick, and we just have to keep realistic dates in mind. So we really have no idea on the kitchen, but I would say at least it'll be done by January 1st. This one's actually not a question, but she says, would love to see a whole house tour with a commentary of what you have planned. And that is actually a really good video idea. So I'll plan on doing that soon. During our busy season, like whenever we're not doing renovation, that would be a good video idea. But if you guys ever have any video suggestions, just leave them down below, and if I can film them, then I will. This question is did you guys buy your home with a renovation budget in mind? If so, how's it going? And no, we didn't buy the house with a renovation budget in mind. We honestly didn't know what to expect, and especially because we bought it during the pandemic and prices were skyrocketing, especially on building materials. So we never really set a budget, but we do try and do everything as cheap as possible. If you know me in real life, then you know that I hate spending money. So I try and find the best bargain or the best deal on anything. I don't care what it is, like whether it's at a thrift store or a garage sale, like whatever. I try and not pay full price for anything. That's like all of the beadboard and the flooring that we got out of that old house. Like we didn't even pay $200 for all of that. And at Lowe's, it is outrageous for that material. So it's just that we have more time than money. So we're fine with spending less money and having to put more time into fixing it. And I've never sat down and figured up how much our laundry renovation cost. And even with spending $300 on the washer and dryer, I would say that the whole renovation costed less than $800. But one of these days I'll have to sit down and figure it up and go through the cost and see exactly what we did pay for it. We don't really have a set budget. We just try and spend as little as possible, if that makes sense. This next question is do you have a set date to finish renovations you want to meet? And no, we don't. We don't have any kind of a timeline. We were very unrealistic in the beginning of this. Our original goal was to have the entire downstairs finished within a year. And I think this question was asked because August 24th made a year of us owning this house and the farm, and our goals did not get met. Our original goal was to have the entire downstairs finished within a year, and that just did not happen. Like, we've only got one room done, and it's already been over a year now, and we're not even close to having the kitchen done yet, so we're very unrealistic with that. And our goal of having the entire upstairs done within 2 years, that's not gonna happen either. Who knows? After the downstairs is finished, we may want to break, and we may take a 3 to 6 month, maybe a year break from doing renovations, because we don't have kids and we don't have guests that come and stay with us or anything like that. So we may not even work on the upstairs for a while. I have no idea. And that's why I don't like to set dates or anything like that, just because like I don't want to let you guys down, but also setting unrealistic expectations on myself and Ben. And it's just, we were not prepared for how much work was going to be put into this house and the farm. And so we're slowly learning. But at our old house, that we lived in a subdivision, and we were only used to painting the walls and seeing instant gratification. And at this house, we don't have that. So you can work on peeling the paint on the door, and then you have to sand it down, and then you have to go back and get the paint out of the cracks. So it takes so long, and so there is no instant gratification with this house. So sometimes it makes it hard because it seems like you're going nowhere, but then if you watch back videos or anything like that, you can finally see your progress. So we just try and take it one day at a time and really not think about like dates or how long it's taking us. We try not to pressure ourselves, if that makes sense. We don't want to be like, oh, we have to have this done by the 3rd of the month, because then it's like we're just rushing to get the job done and it's not quality work. And that's what we're really focusing on, is just making sure that the quality is there, because we do plan on this being our forever home. So we don't want to be working on this in 20 years having to redo everything that we've just done. So we're really trying to focus on quality. Okay, I like this question. It's really fun. It's, do you plan on furnishing the house with antique furniture? And I do, if it's realistic, because we're not the type of people that buy something from an antique store for it to never be used or be put up on a shelf. Like, we want to buy things that serve a purpose. So if we buy something, whether it be an antique or from Walmart or just wherever, we're gonna use it. Like, we're gonna make sure that it has a purpose. But as far as some of like the couches and stuff like that, if we can find the right type of a couch, then we probably would buy it. But a lot of them are super low to the ground, and Ben is over 6 foot tall, so it's super hard for him to get up off of furniture like that. And we found several but haven't bought them just because they are so low and they're uncomfortable for him. So we're not willing to risk comfortability just to have the antique look. So we may buy like a look-alike couch, but anything that we can, we do try and buy antique and just reuse it, just because we love antiques and also it fits the house. So I do plan on using as much antiques as I can. The next question is what kind of animals do you want to add? And I think they're talking about to the farm. Right now we only have chickens and that are here on the farm. We have cows, but they're still over at his dad's farm. We're hoping to have them here by October 1st. And we have so much fence to fix, so that's gonna be more time that we are not working on renovations. But having a farm, there's always going to be something that comes up that keeps us away from renovations. So we're kind of getting used to it. Here in about a month, we will have our cows here, hopefully. And then they'll be here for good. And we would like to get meat chickens in the spring. We just like the turnaround time on that, just because within a few months you get fresh chicken. And hopefully we'll be able to do that this spring. And then we do eventually want hogs also. So we do have big dreams and a lot more animals that we want to add to the farm. We've actually been looking into a milk cow, but haven't bought one yet. We went and looked at some calves the other day, but we don't want to wait that long because it would be over 1.5 years before they would be able to start producing milk for us. And since the kitchen will be done, hopefully by January, we want something that can give milk a little bit sooner than that. We'll always be expanding our animals that we have here on the farm. Okay, the last question I'm going to answer, because I'm going to have to go help Ben, is what is your vision board for the house? Love your work. Thank you. And if you want to see my vision boards, you can go to Pinterest. I actually had to make a new Pinterest account the other day because I couldn't get into my old account. So I made a new one, and it's kind of nice because what I plan on doing is making a board for each room. That way I can go through and pin ideas or just like the look that I'm going for, so that it helps me envision what I want, but also you guys can follow along and like kind of see what I'm going for in the design plan and how I want each room to be themed and stuff like that. I'll have my Pinterest account linked down below if you want to follow along there. But I'm gonna go help Ben now, so that's gonna be it for the questions. So thank you guys for asking the questions over on Instagram, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys will like and subscribe.